What's cracking? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. This is the special edition of my show, my thought process from my six twisted head, in the pink. I am your hostess, the wonderful, talented, charming, quite sexy Reagan. I am actually going to review the NWO The Revolution DVD. It is a 3-disc set chock full of hits and misses. I am going to review the first 2 discs of this 3 DVD set because, let's be honest, for those of you who have watched this DVD set, the 3rd disc absolutely blew chunks. There were a couple of bright spots, but not many. So, the NWO was formed, let's see, July 7th, 1996, about a year after Hulk Hogan had signed with the now defunct WCW wrestling. Scott Hall wanted to stay in the WWF, but Vince McMahon couldn't afford to keep him, and WCW was knocking at his door, meaning to die, shelling out that cash. So Scott Hall and Kevin Nash took flight, went up north, or down south, excuse me, to WCW. They became known as the Outsiders. The first person to invade WCW was none other than Scott Hall. That was absolutely pretty freaking hilarious. Hey yo, that's what I mean to say. Definitely after that came Kevin Nash, Big Sexy, Woo, formerly known as Diesel, not the fake Diesel, Hulk Hogan joined the NWO. Oh my gosh. I believe that created one of the biggest riots ever in WCW history. We'll get into that in just a minute. Sting never joined the NWO, but he was NWO Wolfpac. Somebody? Thank you. He was NWO Red and Black, so that means NWO Wolfpac, which included Scott Hall, Sting. Lex Luger was black and white, so I'm trying to figure out how many different factions were there of the NWO, how many branches of the NWO. The BWO does not count. The BWO was ECW, and the BWO was actually a parody of the NWO, so they couldn't even get sued or sued, whatever. This should be quite interesting as delve into my little thought process of all this. Just to be honest, guys, I never really watched WCW. I've been drinking Vince's Kool-Aid since I was 5, so kind of sue me if I miss some things. If I miss some things, I'm sure my fans will let me know. Comment box is right here. We did have a couple of mainstream superstars, Jay Leno, Kevin Eubanks. We also had The Worm, Dennis Rodman, former Chicago Bulls, LA Lakers, former Detroit Pistons, I think a Phoenix Sun somewhere in there. And we also have the mailman, Karl Malone. So, let's get into this. Oh, buddy. Please forgive me, because the first 2 discs were really, really interesting to watch. The bio was pretty decently done, with the exception of Lex Luger now being head of the wellness policy. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. Head of the wellness policy. You killed Liz. That's all I'm going to say on that. Let's get into the matches. Let's start here. Bash at the Beach. Why is it all the craziest things happen in or around my birthday? July 7th, 1996. Hall and Nash versus Sting, Macho Man, and the after-mentioned Lex Luger. There was mention of a 3rd man being involved in this 6-man tag, but the 3rd man had yet to reveal himself. It was Hulk Hogan. Match convenes, starts, and we're thinking Hulk Hogan's going to come down and save the day in yellow and red. Woo! Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, believe in yourself, and drink your milk. I'm just going to say the 4 commandments. If I miss any commandments of Hulk Hogan, the Almighty, Hulk Hogan, please kindly leave them in my comment box down where? Down there. Because I have no idea what the heck Hulk was talking about anyway. He comes out, we're thinking he's coming to save the day. Well, that didn't turn out so well for him. Actually, that turned out very well for him. Didn't turn out so well for the kids in the audience and the parents and everybody else. He happened to be the third man of the six-man tag, therefore joining the NWO, therefore cutting the infamous program, whatever you want to call it, turning him officially heel. The promo he cut was, "You can now call this the New World Order of Professional Wrestling, brother." Yes. Oh, thank you. I stopped. Peanut Gallery is going to start talking. I'm just going to say this. I have never seen so many pissed off fans in my life. Trash was thrown in the ring. Bottles, beer, alcohol abuse, popcorn, hot dogs, soda, various pieces of paper. Oh my God, I have never seen Mean Gene get hit with so much stuff just standing in the ring trying to interview these guys after the match. The match never really finished because it got thrown out because of Hulk Hogan. It was wrong. Now, I'm a big fan of making little kids cry, a la Undertaker. But to see them cry over this man who had been the savior of the world professional wrestling, definitely WCW, to turn heel, that had to break some hearts. Not mine. Preferably, I think it might have been time for Hulk Hogan to turn heel. He had been faced for how long? Since the 80s? He had been faced for way too long. He had been a good guy for too long. John Cena really should take a cue from Hulk Hogan in the NWO. I'm just yeah. I'm going to go into Hog Wild, the debut of the Black Spray Can. This was August 10th, 1996. Hulk Hogan versus the Giant, also known as Paul White, a.k.a. Big Show, a.k.a. Big Slow, a.k.a. Shokishi. Yeah, him, that guy. Side note, the Giant, Paul White Big Show, is the only man in wrestling history to have held the WCW title, ECW title, and WWE title. The WCW title has now since been changed to the World Heavyweight title, which we all know is on SmackDown. He's the only man to have ever held those three titles. Now, I don't think he would have done so on the original ECW. Then again, might have been matches with 911, Amish Roadkill. Who knows? Semi-match, to say the least. Although Hulk Hogan didn't win clean, he had to have some help with the outsiders, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. Semi-decent match, to say the least. I'll at least give that match 2.5 stars. Just for the simple fact, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash actually came out and ran in first. It was funny. Halloween Havoc, October 27th, 1996, for the WCW Tag Team titles. The Outsiders versus Harlem Heat. For those of you who do not know who Harlem Heat is, Google them. They're amazing. Booker T and Stevie Ray. Booker T is one of the few men to have held more titles and more promotions than anybody in history, 40 at last count. Stevie Ray looks like Bobby Brown on steroids. I said that. Thank you, Boss Man, for that one. Harlem Heat got a chance to show a couple of moves, you know, precision, you know, effectiveness, and all around they were a fantastic tag team. And to have Sister Sherry Martel at ringside. Who was the guy in the white hat? Can somebody give me a...
Colonel Parker.
Thank you, Colonel Parker. Side note on that, they were supposed to get married. I have no idea what the heck happened to that angle. Apparently WCW doesn't know when to finish what it starts, or kills what they can't understand. Hollywood blondes. Outsiders were total cheaters. They were being heels, but I honestly think Harlem Heat should have kept their titles, but unfortunately the Outsiders win the WCW Tag Team titles. Now, going into a couple of more matches, I honestly think WCW booking, let's see, Ric Flair, 50 Bros, baby, in public, if you will. I wind it down with kings and queens. I sucked an Allen down the poking beans. Oh. I sucked at that. They really, really should have given the Outsiders a fair shot at the tag team titles. They should have really given the NWO a fair shot to be heels. Actually, they were supposed to be heels, but they turned into anti-heroes. Something like Stone Cold. Thank you, Boss Man, for that one. Something like Stone Cold was when they start, studying Vince and studying JR and King and Rock and Taker and everybody. The fans turned them kind of face, but they were still doing their own thing. So it's kind of like they had a Randy Orton syndrome. No matter what Randy Orton does, we still cheer him, even if he is DDT and Stephanie McMahon off the middle rope. Anyway, another match that really, really unnerved me to no end. NWO Saturday Night, November 9th, 1996, X-Pac, we know as X-Pac, versus the Bounty Hunter. Who in the U.S. is this guy? Okay, in the arena match, I don't understand this to say the least, because there were cheers and boos piped in and we have the outsiders doing commentary. What? How in the world are cheers and boos going to be piped into an empty arena? Thank you, WCW, like we weren't stupid enough. Right. X-Pac wins the match. Y'all really, really should watch that match and just say, holy crap, what were they thinking? I think Ric Flair might have been asleep at the wheel on this one. Sold out January 25th, 1997. WCW Tag Team titles are again on the line. The Outsiders versus the Steiner Brothers. This might be the start of another rant for me, because this actually quite pissed me off. How in the world are you going to have a stable who had just barely been together, not even 6 months, so count them 5 months and a few weeks, before you have them lose on their own, like, NWO, like, pay-per-view? That's like DX losing all their matches during, In Your House, Generation X, 1987. How in the world does that happen? Was WCW booking really that horrible? Yes, it was. I don't understand how you can have that great of a stable and then just have them lose. I don't understand that. The Steiner Brothers wins the match. Don't get me wrong, I love the Steiners. Dollface, Gremlin, Rick Steiner, and the pre-Freakzilla Scott Steiner winning the tag team titles. But how is it that the Outsiders still lose the tag team titles when they were so hot? I don't understand it. I probably never will. If any of my fans have any thoughts or insight on this, please, 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 by all means, inform me. Comment box. I'll give you the rest of my info later. Super Brawl. Super Brawl 7, it looks like. February 23rd, 1997, WCW Heavyweight Championship was on the line. Hulk Hogan, was he the original Triple H? Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Triple H, versus Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper looked to have had this match in the bag again. Outside interference played again in the outcome of this match, and Hulk Hogan retains. That's the stupidest move I've ever seen in my life. I've seen some stupid stuff in wrestling, but that takes the cake. I'm going to skip a couple matches and get to, yes, one of my favorite disliked matches of this whole DVD set. WCW Nitro, December 29th, 1997, the heavyweight title was on the line. Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Sting. The match goes off the air. What? In the middle of the match, you have the match, the main event, with the title on the line going off the air. If it wasn't for Google Now, fans would never, ever, 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 ever see the outcome of this match. How the hell does that happen? Again, WCW booking, and Ted Turner probably fell asleep at the wheel, said cut it, and then forgot it was a title match on the line. I don't understand what they were thinking. You have somebody, and I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, great as Hulk Hogan, they are aesthetic. To actually have his match go off the air, can somebody explain that to me? Please? Did time run out, or did somebody just fall asleep at the wheel and hit the end button? I don't know. Let's see. There's a couple of matches that I actually feel like doing something with here. Yes. Hog Wild, August 8th, 1998. Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff versus DDP and Jay Leno, with Kevin Eubanks at ringside. Now, for any of you who have ever seen a Hog Wild pay-per-view or Road Wild, wherever the hell they changed it to, fans were a minute free because it was Sturgis bike run that weekend. Thank you. searched the bike run that weekend. So imagine being a ringside on your Harley, your BMW bike. It's freaking cool. Instead of hearing cheers and boos and claps, you hear vroom 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 on motorcycles when you come down the ring. I will say this about Mr. Jay Leno. Leading the world by his chin, he actually put on a pretty decent match. I honestly think Kevin Eubanks should have been a professional wrestler with that diamond cutter. That diamond cutter he had on, I think it was Eric Bischoff. That was actually a pretty sweet move there, Mr. Kevin Eubanks. You should still be a wrestler or at least a manager, whatever. That was an okay match. I just think Hulk Hogan played it a little too off for me. I think I'm going to get into... There is one match I do want to talk about. I believe there was War Games. #1 contender for the WCW title. September 13th, 1998. Oh my god, I actually remember that. Team WCW, DDP, Piper, and Warrior. Warrior? Ultimate Warrior? Or did you already change the name to Warrior Warrior? Versus Team NWO, black and white, I believe. Bret Hart, Stevie Ray, Bobby Brown, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Team Wolfpack, red and black. Sting, Lex Luger, and Kevin Nash. How in the world are you going to have a War Games match with 3 teams, 9 people, count them 9, and you have them for the #1 contenders match for WCW title? Apparently somebody really wasn't working. And apparently the snoring you hear at the end of this tape here, yeah, it's exactly how the hell I feel. Boring. It was stupid. DDP wins. I love DDP and Bang. I love DDP, but were they really thinking in WCW? WCW booking sucks worse than ECW booking, and ECW booking was awesome. I just don't understand how in the world you actually have that much talent and you cannot put them in, like, okay, you have 3 rings, you have 9 people, just have everybody go at it. Forget the teams, they're all singles wrestlers going for 1 title. They're not going for a 6-man tag title. It has now been defunct for some 20 eons, but you have them all on 3 different teams, so it's kind of like you're not fighting on the same team, but you kind of are, but you want to get your own title. What? Oh, Dusty, what were you thinking? And my other match I really wasn't fond of because this pretty much ended the career of one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Nitro, December 20th, 1999, for the WCW title. Goldberg versus Bret Hart. Bret Hart wins the match, but Goldberg kicked his head off. It just wasn't right. Again, WCW, no reason why I actually watch WCW only to go, take a nap on Saturday afternoons. Holy crap. Okay, I'm going to give this DVD a fair rating. Because of the first 2 discs, I'm actually going to give it 2 stars out of 5. There were some bright spots, definitely with the bio, and definitely with the second disc. The third one just, oh my god, bored me to tears. I seriously wanted somebody to gag me with the spoon. It was just that bad. WCW, I'm so glad you're defunct. Oh my god, NWO, I don't know what era you were supposed to be in. I think you're supposed to try to compete with WWF at the time, and for 83 weeks you did win. But, come on, really? There was no doubt that WWF was going to come back and kick ass. Thank you, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be looking forward to some more specials and some more shows coming from me and the Casa. I am Miss Pinky. This is In the Pink, and we are on YouTube. I'll check you later. Bye.